This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
Thank you, Lisa. Tuesday episode, Oilersnation Radio. Gang's all here. Big dubs last night at Rogers Place.
Big dubs.
In case you missed it, in case you've been avoiding it, Oilers now up 3-1 in their series versus the Vegas Golden Knights.
Well done, Edmonton.
After what I would say was probably one of their most complete games of the playoffs. Said that a couple times over the last 2 weeks, but still.
That and game 5 against the Kings, probably the two.
Yeah.
Game
They
one,
were so
game
good.
one against Vegas, periods 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah, that was good, too.
Yeah,
Even
very
period 1 was fine.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I mean, they
left.
have 7 shots and 4 5-on-5 in 40 minutes is insane.
Yeah,
To that team.
But last night was just an absolute demolishing by the Oilers. We're going to get to it. But first, we're going to start with a delicious debate for our friends at Odd Company Brewing, proud partner. What are you chuckling at?
Just the fact that Rick had to 2 minutes to think of this.
On the spot. I have 2.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, double debate. We're proud to partner with Odd Company Brewing to bring you Nation Beer Everyday Lager, perfect for the next big game, your next go-to lager, or to celebrate a win like I did last night when I got home. It's wonderful. Find it at either Odd Company location here in the city. LiquorConnect.com. Search it up. It's like a search engine for your beer machine. Put it in. Nation Beer Everyday Lager. You'll find a liquor store near you that serves it. Today, the delicious debate is presented by Rick. Go ahead, Rick.
The only question is I don't know which one to go with. Okay, you know what? Edmonton wins tomorrow. That gets us about 4 or 5. If they go 7 in the other series, probably gets close to a week off.
Mm-hmm.
That should make Cal healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Let's just say we win tomorrow. Next game, Cal is healthy. Who's their goalie?
Go ahead, Tyler.
So, leaving the caveat that if the Oilers win 7-6 or 6-5, okay, then it's Cal. Other than that, it's Stu. I'm going with the high ceiling guy if he's playing close to his high ceiling. So, yeah, for me, it's Stu. It's unfortunate that Cal got hurt and he is on such a good run. And I was really starting to believe we'd never see Skinner again in these playoffs. But now that Skinner's had, that shutout under his belt, if he plays well again in game 5 and it's a 3 or less goals against performance, I'm going back to Stu for game 1 Western Conference Final.
I think too, the thing with last night's shutout was he wasn't as busy as Aiden Hill was, but he was so solid.
Yeah.
There was a breakaway early in the first period. Stopped that. There was a shot from in close. I don't remember that was
Hannafin,
first
I
period.
think, yeah.
Stopped that. He just looked steady. He was square to the shooter. He looked like the guy who goes on runs. And to answer the question, he was just so good last night. Let him see if he can carry the ball a little bit.
I think the other angle to it as well is at Skinner's worst, and I don't want this to come across so poorly, but at Skinner's worst, it's like Pickard's best. I don't want to, it sounds like I'm really crapping on Pickard, and I don't mean it like that, but
That's not true, though.
but the other day, Skinner allowed 4 goals. Pickard's been averaging 3 or more every game. That's kind of my point is there's not too much of a difference in that regard. I think Pickard is probably a little bit better than I'm giving credit for that. But Skinner, like you said, he didn't have a lot to do last night, but when he was given something to do, he made the stop.
Steady.
And
Solid.
I think the ceiling is
save.
just way better.
That breakaway save was massive.
Yeah,
Clutch
game
save.
changing.
Outside of game 2, was it 2 that we stole in overtime? Yes. Pickard really to me hadn't blown the doors off. More to say that and I think we were talking about it even before game 3 where it was I just don't necessarily believe that he's the starter without a question anyways. And then you parcel in the fact that Skinner came in and has been, his average good. The end of the day, this team just needs to be able to outscore whatever goaltending they get. And when the Oilers are playing in the Vegas Golden Knights end or the Los Angeles Kings end, our goalies look better. And it just to me, that was the case last night. And even in the game, even in game 3, the Skinner probably looked better when the Oilers were just away from their own end. It's just reality.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the Stu train as well. Outside of game 2, I think game 2, Pickard won us that game. I think he stood on his head. Other than that, I think he's been similar to Stu, but when he needed to make a save, he did. And not always did you get that from Stu, but their essentially game was about the same. I think it's all about the team in front of them though. The better the Oilers play, They're better. Their goaltending is. And game 3 was Stu's first. So game 3, I didn't think Stu had a bad game. Yeah, there's one of those games where you're like, fuck, I wish one of those didn't go in the net. But none of them are you going to sit there and go, that's a terrible goal. You're going to go, man, I wish he had that other chance just to keep it out of the net, but it wasn't a terrible goal. And I will take this to my deathbed. That 4th goal was not going in the net.
I agree.
That is not on him. Your goaltender's job is to keep the puck from going in the net. The puck was not going in the net. Your goaltender did his job. I know it's not pretty. I know it wasn't the way you want to do it because obviously the only way to goaltend is the way you want to do it. But if you go back to the late 90s, there was a guy named Dominic Hasek who made saves in a far more ugly way. And he was one of the, I'm not comparing that, but I'm just saying not everything has to be the traditional sense of Patrick Waugh butterfly perfect in a picture.
My point on that goal too is if Skinner would have stayed on the goal line in his crease, RVH or whatever, and Smith picks the far corner on him.
Why didn't he come out?
Why is our 6'5" goalie not coming out and being aggressive? There's a half a second left. His only play is shoot.
But that goal, I think, is just a microcosm of the Oiler fandom and where you're going to place the blame. And that, I think that you see forwards and defensemen waving their stick at Smith, not engaging him, not challenging him whatsoever.
I was texting with Colby Cohen from Daily Faceoff Morning Cup of Hockey, and his biggest problem on that late goal was Brett Kulak.
Yeah.
I mean,
where was Kulak on there? He wasn't one of the two who went down in the slot, correct?
Was McDavid and Nurse.
Yeah, and then so Kulak is kind
of lost in no man's land
on Stu's glove side then.
Yeah, he was kind of lost in no man's land.
So yeah, you can take it umbrage with where Skinner is, but when you look at the team in front of him, the guy is forced into making a decision that he doesn't want to necessarily have to make. And we can talk about it. I feel like it's even, you just talk about like the Dallas Stars kicking the puck at Connor Hellebuck. Hellebuck shouldn't have had to make that save in that position. And so you're asking a goalie to make that play, and maybe he can't make that save. And it's a bad example, but it's just the same point of the team puts him into that position, puts him into that spot where he has to make a save, and he just wasn't in position to make it. Draisaitl has a nice little tip home.
And I thought we were pretty responsible with the puck last night. I don't think you saw a lot of those bad turnovers.
They were solid defensively.
Yep.
And that first game was Stu's first game in how long?
17 days.
So there's that. There's a little bit of rust. There's a little bit of nerves. There's a little bit of everything. So if you expected a Patrick Waugh picture-like performance, you're silly. And then you saw what a little bit of confidence can lead into the next game.
I'd also like, just as a kind of an aside, if you watch a lot of playoff games, there's weird fucking goals happening all the time.
Because every chance is a grade A opportunity. Like there's just no room out. Like when space becomes available, everyone's just out of the way. Like I think you don't have to. It's going to sound strange, and I don't mean it quite the way I'm going to cross. But like,
you keep prefacing all of your statements, and I love it.
You don't have to work as hard with these opportunities sometimes. Yeah. Everything's just right in front of you. Like it's just you and the goalie. Like you look at the Adam Henrique one. Like he didn't have to do anything. He was just stood in front of the goal, and Connor Brown got a puck behind him.
That second one, he sure did enough though.
Yeah, he did. And like, obviously there's certain ones, but like even the Kane one, like he comes down the balls, he just rips a shot on net.
If that goal goes in on either of our goalies, there is fucking pandemonium happening.
I was reading stuff on Twitter, and they were talking about should Schmid play. What's his name?
Laddie Schmid?
Laddie Schmid.
I say yes.
The other thing too is like
I am confused.
What's his name?
Akira Schmid.
A Schmid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant our side.
Yes, Laddie Schmid should play.
You can also just say Riley Smith made a really good play.
Nah.
Well, and
you mean the other team gets paid too? The other players get paid too, and they have skill?
Like Oiler fans, we're watching the Oilers right now, like disassemble Aiden Hill at different points. Yeah. And like, that's a good goaltender. That's one of Canada's goaltenders at the Four Nations.
The reason he stole that series for Vegas 2 years ago.
So, I mean, like we, like you say, you can give Riley Smith his flowers there too, and just understand that that's a good offensive play by him. But yeah, I mean, if we flipped the roles and saw all the goals that have gone against Vegas and those went in against Skinner, we'd be losing our ever-loving minds.
Absolutely.
And I think that we're also victims of having a guy like Pickard be good enough as a backup. Whereas with Vegas, they're not talking about Schmid because
they can't.
That's not really an option.
They haven't given him an opportunity yet, right? Like eventually we had okay, Cal, get in there and hope for the best, and the best worked out.
He is Mike Smith.
Who?
Aiden Hill.
Oh. Because he's a spaz?
Yeah. And he's
Mike
big.
Smith wasn't that bad. He's Jordan Binnington is what he is.
No, he's Mike's older, like younger Mike Smith.
Mike Smith would have never stopped going at Kane in the corner. As soon as Kane turned around and looked at him, Aiden Hill put on the brakes very, very quickly, almost as fast as the two guys in front of him. They want no part of that.
Before we get into last night's game, I want to hear from you. Delicious debate. Did Stu do enough? Game 4 shutout? Or when Cal's healthy, would you turn it back to him? So I want to know. Hit us up on socials. I want to give a shout out to our friends at Oodle Noodle. Kung Pao is the community box in June. I encourage you to get down to Oodle Noodle. Score Kung Pao. It's delicious. First and most importantly, but secondly, 10% of the proceeds will be donated to Sports Central. Let's get some more kids playing sports out here in the city. I want to talk about Evander Kane. Since he came back, and we've said this on the podcast a bunch, at least I have, and I wrote it on the website too a bunch of times. When he came back, or we found out he's going to come back, I was hoping that, look, the guy had a year off to recover. He got the surgeries he needed. He got a year to recover. His body's probably feeling the best it has. I was hoping he's going to go out and bang and crash, because even if the hands take time to catch up, you can go out and bang and crash. He's doing that. But he's also scoring massive goals.
That's what he is.
He is looking like the guy who was lighting up the LA Kings a handful of years ago in the playoffs. Yeah. He's causing chaos. You already mentioned the one where it was Adam Henrique, by the way, through the legs goal with the Yakupov slide celly. You love to see that. Kane gets pushed into Aiden Hill
in the corner
and chaos breaks out. But at the same point, Kane looks like he is in his element.
Yeah.
3 guys, no problem.
I love it because Kane's not by himself.
No.
Corey Perry's out there. Big boy Trent Frederick's out there.
Darnell Nurse came flying in.
How did he doesn't do anything. He just puts his body in between the two players and he got a penalty. I mean,
crazy.
The first period officiating was absolutely atrocious. After that, I have no issues with it. Second and third, no comments. Like, it is what it is. It was league average, whatever. I'm perfectly fine with it. But that first period was absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah, it was just
Aiden Hill went absolutely nuts.
The Hyman one.
All it takes is one call and it calms his ass down.
But I was actually, like, as it played out, though, it was almost better that they didn't, because he was unhinged the whole time.
Well, he was fine in the second and third, but yeah, he was.
I don't know, man. Like,
it might have been in his head, but at least he wasn't chasing anybody around and whacking dudes. And
well, there was that. Well, he was sticking foot out. Like Janmark got that penalty when he stuck his foot out.
Yeah, so dumb.
He's rattled. There was a point, I don't remember what period it was in, Tyler. I don't know if you remember, but the Aiden chant was like going through the commercial break.
Oh yeah.
And the entire commercial break is just going and going and going. And once again, the Oilers production staff are incredibly good. They just had the slow motion ISO cam going closer and closer to his face. It was so fucking funny. Man, he was rattled. And Kane was a big part of it.
He was smirking under his mask a little bit. I don't know if they showed
it was. You could see it.
Yeah, he was laughing a little bit. So again, I think they're totally.
But I think he was laughing. It was in the first, and I think it might have been after the Kane call.
Yeah,
like what was the Kane penalty? Was it charging?
Charging.
Okay, hold on a second here, because if I'm not mistaken, paraphrasing the charging penalty is something along the lines of 3 or more strides and making a hit, right? Like, you take more than 3 strides before you create a hit. That is a charge. Yeah. Where the hell does this come from?
He doesn't take 1 stride.
No, he gets a boost from the back.
Yeah.
Please allow these officials to sit there in front of a microphone in front of 3 NHL picked reporters.
Yep.
And answer 2 questions each. Something simple. Make it. I need to know what they were thinking.
Or gives it I just didn't see it. You know what I mean? Like, because if
and I want to know which ref called the penalty too, because there's one standing from me to Tyler, and the other one probably between the blue and the red line, and I need to know which guy made the call.
Yeah, it is an interesting thought. We've talked about that a lot on this podcast. It's never going to happen. Gary doesn't seem to think the officiating is a problem.
He says the officiating is the best it's ever been.
Oh, perfect.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
and it definitely isn't.
Have the Oilers, I'm just off the cuff, have they had more power plays in a game than the other team? at all in the playoffs?
Oh,
I don't
now
think
that I
so
can
yet.
think of.
I'll get the
I think
stat on that.
minutes wise, we had more because of the major in game 2.
Oh yeah,
But-
that makes sense.
But yes, I think you're right. I think we still are out power played by every other team.
I actually have no issues with that. Only because
It kills the narrative.
a little bit of that. Our power
the narrative
play,
should
our
be dead
power play
anyway.
isn't super duper great. Therefore, if you don't get out there, you don't get that negative out there. And we've been rolling 5-on-5, 4 lines. Let's just keep doing this as long as possible. It's working. They're scoring on every different line, regardless of who's on whatever line. Like, hats off to Knoblauch last night for the line changes.
I want to talk about that in a minute, but the other guy we're going to talk about after. Sorry, go ahead.
You are correct. Game, you can go through whatever game you want. Game 1 against LA, the Oilers drew 2, took 5. Next game, it was 6-3, 3-3, 3-3, 3-2, 2-1, 2-2, 4-4, 2-2, 5-4. They did not.
It was 5-4 last night?
Yes. Penalties taken 5, penalties drawn 4.
Like, Aiden Hill dashes out of his crease and throws at least one blocker. And let's get back in. You're all good.
But you nailed
It's
that.
Evander Kane not Evander Kane, Zach Hyman just standing there.
Didn't Cujo get a penalty for when he went nuts
Yeah,
to the
he
ref
fell
in the
down.
back left corner and like loses it and takes the ref down? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he got
he
a penalty
fell
for
down.
that. He got a penalty for that.
Yeah. And we had to give Calgary a 3rd round pick.
It's true. Even though he was playing for the Leafs.
The other guy I want to talk about last night was the hero of the night, Adam Henrique. The amazing thing about Adam Henrique is statistically, he didn't have his best season, not anywhere close. But when you look at his Hockey DB page or whatever, this is a guy with 7 20-goal seasons on his resume. And last night, he scored 2 beauties. The first one, Connor Brown fed him out in the slot. Perfect shot up over the glove. Second one, through the legs. Knocked that in somehow. Ridiculous. Yakupov slide into the corner. Then he turns around and says, "Oh shit, there's a fight happening," into the mix. I loved Adam Henrique last night. The only bad thing about last night is I really wanted to fucking throw that hat.
He's got those goals, but he's being asked to play a completely different role, I believe, on this team than he has in most other teams. Most other teams, I believe he's been
He's not getting power play.
part of
He's
the
not getting
offense. And now we're like, hey, we need you to be that veteran shutdown type of defensive minded, responsible centerman. And you're not going to get a lot of extra juicy offense. Sorry.
What'd you make of Henrique's night, Liam?
Thought he was good. He's just a guy that probably needed a goal. I think he has one other one in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, he's
right?
at 3 now.
So you don't need him every night. You just need him to not be bad. You know what I mean? Like just kind of go out there and play a solid game. And I think yesterday he just show up when the team needs you, and he did, like right off the bat. Like I do like that line. Obviously the line that Connor Brown scored his first goal as an Oiler was that line. So I'm a big believer in that one.
The thing that's magical about this run is that there's a different guy stepping up. Last night, McDavid had 1 assist on the Kane goal. Leon didn't have any, but it didn't matter.
Leon did an incredible job last night.
I've got
with
that
his
listed
line.
down because he had a completely different assignment last night. His line was matched up against Eichel for 9 of 13 minutes at 5-on-5. Eichel didn't even have a shot on goal.
I think he has one crossbar, but that's fine. It's not a count. Doesn't count.
That was a power play though.
Doesn't count.
Was it?
I believe so. Yeah. Right?
I think so.
On that side of the ice.
Because that was when Mark
Left.
Stone looked skyward after.
Probably just to adjust his back that's bugging him.
That was sore.
I can't believe you recovered so quickly from his
is
game.
Him and McNabb, both of them.
I know that shoulder injury. Wow, that go away quick.
I thought he got shot.
Most dangerous playing hockey, you know.
Yep.
Well, I would not encourage you to trip somebody going into the boards, but
Well, it's a clean play. No penalty was
no
called.
penalty.
Official was looking directly at it.
Yeah, he thought it was
Yeah,
fine.
he was.
He's like, no, that's fine.
He thought it was fine.
Play on.
So I loved Rico last night. I loved Evander Kane. You guys mentioned the line combo changes that Kris Knoblauch made. How about Kasperi Kapanen waking up and choosing violence on his first shift?
Love it. You've seen that out of him like a little bit in the regular season. I didn't know which Kapanen was going to come out, and I did not expect that one. But oh boy, did I love seeing that.
He crushed Pietrangelo twice.
Like these, if you see him and people are going to like this, but if you listen to his name, that type of game style is not what you think, right? He's a European guy. They don't necessarily come across as that. He came out there and played just a physical brand of hockey. He sat there and watched the previous game, said, this is what we need to do to make this team better. And everybody followed him into the fucking
See, I disagree
fire.
with you because he's Finnish. Finns are just like,
Fair.
they're not the same.
They're a little scrappy, yeah.
They're not the same as the rest.
Yeah, I'll give you. I was thinking more Swedish. That's on
Probably
me.
deserved a penalty on the third hit.
I mean, arguably.
Like that guy just was nowhere close to a puck, and Kapanen just killed him because
Was that Pietrangelo by the bench?
he's the one
that was
center
Hyman.
ice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it was pretty funny because the crowd reacted so hard to his first two hits, and you could almost tell he was just like, "This is fucking sick." And I mean, that guy too. It's like, oh, okay, easy, big guy.
The other guy who made an appearance last night, and apologies to Ty Emberson. Troy Stecher was so good last night.
Yeah, he was awesome. Just simple. Like he didn't, but he's simple and
so
plays
hard.
at like a high compete level.
He
too.
moves the puck very well.
Yeah.
And I think like if you're picking an advantage, like an apples to apples, he's got that over Emberson every day of the week.
Yeah.
But what he does also is makes it so much easier for Nurse to play. Like,
Well, Tyler,
once
you
he
talked
has-
about that.
Once he has like a legit partner that he like feels can do their job and doesn't feel like he has to try and overextend himself and help. Because I do think Emberson needed a bit of a break, and I said
Yeah,
that in
but
LA.
Nurse
I
was
think
struggling with Bouchard.
also a guy who in his own zone isn't necessarily. And then you get two guys that are kind of chaotic a little bit in their own end.
I don't know. I think Darnell Nurse just needs to be better regardless of who he's playing.
But he
with.
was last night.
But it was on my list of things with this team that don't make any sense. It's like your $9.25 million defenseman is only good when you play him with his league minimum pitbull. And like, if those two aren't together, they're both useless, but together,
It's
son
just
of a bitch, they're good.
there's like their styles
They
just
need
kind
each
of
other.
they come together very, very well.
Daryl led the team in 5-on-5 minutes last night too, at 18:54.
And I will specify this. I do like when he goes down, just not very often. You got to pick your choices a little bit better.
Simple Daryl.
Yeah. But there is sometimes dropping on his belly to block that pass makes it difficult and is a good play.
You know-
he just goes to the bank too many times that game.
People pulled it like last game. People were upset. I think it was the first goal against that he went down. But
That was the
when
right
he
play.
when he went down, he actually made the right play.
It
Just
worked.
Afterwards, ended up scoring. So it has its moments too.
But he just goes, he went to it too often that game.
Yeah, too
The
often.
Chris Russell disease.
The who?
The Chris Russell disease.
The Cowboy.
Oh, you're paying homage.
Also, the value deals on our blue line next year. You know, yes, Josh Brown exists, but that's fine. You can bury it. But Stecher signed for $787K, Emberson 1.3 mil, Kulak 2.7, Wallman 3.4. That's crazy. To have all
Wallman
those
too.
guys.
He's been so fucking good.
Can you sign him this summer?
Wallman?
Yeah.
I would try to extend him.
So would I.
Absolutely.
And like before he gets another year on this team and they can like elevate his contract a little bit again by having another big year.
Next year is the final year for both Ekholm and Wallman. I just go to Wallman and say, you want that $6 million? You can have it. Then I go to Ekholm and I say, if
You want his money, you can have
you
it.
want 3.4, and then we're good. You just keep going.
All right, you take your paycheck, give it to him. You paycheck, give it to him.
Yeah.
Let's call it a day.
Little swapsies. Do what
No
those
problem.
Take everyone out for dinner.
do what those two baseball players did once and swap wives too. No, I'm just joking.
And the
Don't do that.
Richies.
What?
Remember when Jay Rosell said that on the Ritchie brothers?
But no, the story about those two baseball players who switched wives.
No.
Wait, didn't
They
Brodeur
from
do
the
something about?
1919
That was his,
Yeah,
sister-in-law.
Brodeur went to
Yeah,
from the
sister-in-law.
wife to the sister or something like that.
Thanksgiving's still
But that
awkward.
was like ESPN had a whole story about that. It was two teammates
Yeah, it was
on
something.
like the Red Sox, and they both just decided they were like, I like your wife more than mine, and the other guy's like, I like your wife more than mine, and they switched and they stayed together.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can
right?
Google it. True story.
What would you Google
Baseball players trade
Baseball
wives.
wife swap.
Yeah.
on a company laptop?
Listen,
ESPN.
we're doing our job right now. It just so happens that this is the topic of conversation. That's
Oh,
all.
look. Boston Red Sox.
It's called journalism.
Yep.
Wife swap.
Urban Dictionary. What does it say?
Oh, yeah. Oh, they were the
Yankees, sorry, Yankee White Sox. Fritz Peterson, classic Fritz.
Yeah.
That is
Mike
classic Fritz. He's always been up to that shenanigans, that rascal.
Yeah, they have it. That's crazy.
But Tyler, going back to Troy Stecher, like Ty Emberson out, right?
Yeah, I mean it's going to stay this way. They obviously weren't trusting Ty Emberson. The other thing that this did is it just kind of let everything sort out the way it's supposed to. Before it was like, okay, Darnell's getting a few shifts of this guy, a few shifts, and it's all
Because he was only playing like
They're
7
playing
minutes.
all 6 guys now.
Yeah, now they're playing all 6 guys. Everyone has a partner in a role, and I think it's better that way. It's maybe exposed a little bit to me that I don't think Klingberg and Wallman are the best partners for each other, but it's your only option, so you have to keep doing it.
They
But
were solid last night.
Huh?
They were solid last night. They were almost out there with the Leon line the whole time.
Yeah, they were
You're going out there against the Eichel line.
I see a lot of I get a lot of heart attacks with those two. And
My heart attack is when Klingberg almost scored on Stu.
Yeah, there was that. I don't know. I think those two maybe aren't great, but like I'm envisioning a world where it's like Ekholm and Wallman together. And I'm like, oh yes, give me that. Give me that. Kulak, Bouchard, Ekholm, Wallman, Nurse, Stecher.
I know we're not at the betting segment yet, but
skating.
What I dislike is that the books, our friends at Bet365, have figured out that Wallman over 1.5 blocks is basically.
Oh, that's gone away a while ago. There's been 2.5.
It's just the odds they're not friendly anymore.
It's been 2.5 for a bit now.
Sad.
Just an update on the wife swap. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck tried to make a movie about this in 2015. But unfortunately, one half of the swap was freaked out, ironically, by the whole idea.
Everybody knows. What are you freaked out about?
Story on ESPN.
Yeah. So maybe one day Ben and Matt will really seven out today.
I like how he went quiet for 10 minutes, was just reading up on this.
Yeah, it was interesting.
He's like,
doing some research.
Story.
I have an update.
Liam is a journalist. That's what he does. He takes his time. He executes.
Article coming soon.
Watch out for that at Oilersnation.com. Like
Which two
wife swap.
Oilers are most likely to swap wives a la the Yankees?
I got no
Well, you
idea.
think the goalies? Because no, all right.
Speaking of goalies, how great was it to see Calvin Pickard fired up for Stu last night coming off the ice? Not that I expected anything less from him, but I just liked it. I like seeing it.
Yeah, that was really cool. He's just a good guy. Like
He was out there firing the Donaire cannon.
he was what
He was on the ice shooting the Donaire cannon.
last night?
Yeah.
Really?
Calvin Pickard.
Mm-hmm.
After the game,
No, when they were doing the Donaire Force One.
Calvin Pickard shot the Donaire cannon.
That's the video I saw today.
That's awesome.
Damn.
It was somebody who looks exactly like him in a Pickard jersey.
I feel a little bit better, but there was a point yesterday where I'm starting to feel like he's the Rolly 2.0. Like,
Is it this photo from the skills competition?
probably.
Oh, it could have been. It just got on my algorithm today. I thought that was last night because obviously they did the Donaire cannon again last night. So I
That
thought it
would've
was from
been
last night.
Somebody
Man,
on Twitter
don't
called it a
bump
Donaire burrito.
Jesse Granger from
And
the
then he
Athletic.
had a second tweet after that was,
What?
I'm sorry for calling it that.
Donaire
Donaire
burrito.
Yeah, he was.
They're launching Donaire burritos into the crowd, and all the replies are like, "Nope, try again."
He's like, sorry, I'll never refer to that again.
All right. The other thing I want to talk about from last night is Evan Bouchard was arguably the best Oiler last night. Full stop. He was great.
So he's getting a lot of praise for the Kane goal, right? People like going nuts over that.
Mm-hmm.
What was the pass like 1 second before he went to throw behind the net backwards, backhand, stopped by the Vegas player. Like it just wasn't a very good play. And then he turns around and makes a great play. But I just want
Why are you hating on Evan Bouchard?
I'm not, but you need to show both sides of the story.
No.
Oh my God. But when it's Janmark, it's like you might as well make the fucking all-star game in the regular season.
I never
which
went
he
that
should.
far. I just said, yep. If John Scott can go, why can't Yanni?
That's true.
Decent point.
Thank you.
Evan Bouchard was
MVP, John Scott, by the way.
Dropping it and I'm walking out.
Bouchard defending off the rush last night was just a
So
beautiful
good.
sight on a
Awesome.
routine basis.
Now,
He was
correct me if I'm wrong. Is he not the minutes leader for defensemen on the PK last night?
Yeah, and how'd the
Yeah.
PK do?
Fantastic.
Great. He's been playing on the PK
He was
a
a
lot
team
recently.
ID.
Well, I mean,
For minutes
can
last
is there a chance to get the guy from 3 offices down here? Because what we're watching right now is the real version of Bush. I think this season was kind of like the bottom end of what you're going to see out of him in his career. And when he puts it all together, I think what you're seeing right now, he's worth 10 and a quarter, man.
My take on him has always been that if he's feeling good about his offensive game, then it translates into the defensive side.
This team, I think, gets very bored in the regular season.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
very apparent to see.
And
right
you know
now.
what?
Yeah.
And you look at Stu's record from games 4 to 7, he's like 11-1. That is a dude who's like games 1, 2, and 3. Fine,
What was
I'll
the stat?
go.
I was watching you on Morning Cup of Hockey this morning. What was
7-0
the stat that
game
Johnny
fours?
gave you?
Oh, Stu in game 4s?
7-0 now.
I think it's
But he's got the best
got the
goals
lowest.
against in NHL history or
Yeah,
something
game
in
fours.
game
Yeah,
fours.
like 1-5-1 or something.
But to be fair, we'll tell both sides of the story, Rick.
Should.
In 2 of the team's last 6 game 4s, Skinner has not been in net because he was so terrible in the first 3 games of the series.
What was the other one?
just
It was
needed a rest.
obviously
He got the shutout in LA in game 4 last year.
Yeah, but then the ones he got pulled for, obviously Vancouver. Didn't play.
And he didn't play against LA.
The first one?
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
But game 4 against Florida, he was nails.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Dallas, I don't remember how game 4 went.
They won.
Probably nails.
Yeah, he was great. They were down 2-1 in the series.
Oh, that was the game we went to then.
Yeah, he played. He did
When the
really
Oilers
the
came
Janmark
back.
goal.
All-star.
Yeah. One of the 9 goals.
We're gonna turn you.
in 190 games in the last 2
Wouldn't
years.
you rather players score more goals in the playoffs than in the regular season?
Saves them.
Sure.
Seems awfully handy to me.
Just do anything if positive. That's fine. Whatever. It's Matthias Janmark, for Christ's sake.
How dare you?
Hey, look, when your bottom and players are playing that well, you
It's
start
great.
winning.
Just not. I don't
That's
like
what we
the
got him here.
idea that Tyler and I hate Matthias Janmark. That is not true. He just has
Why is this my cross to bear?
he just has a 3-year deal
Because
with a 10-team no trade clause.
Because the words that
No
have come out of your
sense.
mouths.
Yeah, you did this to
and I'll
yourself.
stand
And
by
when
them.
Rick criticizes Bouchard, everyone's just like, yes, astute point. What a scholar.
Ridiculous.
The other thing that happened last night, sticking with the bottom 6, first fight of the NHL postseason.
Congrats, Dan.
Turn that over to Dan. I know you've been waiting
Thank you.
patiently.
62 games into the NHL playoffs. We finally have a fight.
How was it taken at HF?
Shockingly, Hague won that fight.
Which I would agree with.
It was quite actually Oiler fans. We show up and we show up and vote for our guy no matter what. So its second winner is voted as Trent Henrique. But just a really good fight.
Linesman really let him go.
And it went
Dude, they
for
stood
forever.
back. Like the fighters were like, I'm tired. Are you tired? Are you
Yes.
tired? I'm tired.
Yeah.
And the refs are like, no, keep going.
I guess I'll throw another punch, I
Entertain
suppose.
me, boy.
What is this?
It's been so long since a fight happened. I actually forgot how to do things, but I was established and ready to go. Yeah, I was established and ready to go before the fight was over.
Because I was sitting there in the stands, and it's going and it's going and it's going, and then they're doing the lean hug thing. I'm like, those boys are gassed right now. No linesmen, they're still not
Dude,
there.
those lines are still 5 feet away. They're like,
So I guess we'll throw another couple punches. They're just kind of like,
But that goes to what we were
Finally
talking
get in
about.
there.
We were talking about with fight. I don't even know. It feels like months and years ago. But where there was the takedown, the throwdown. I do think that often you see the referees now, they're either in or they're staying back and waiting for something to happen. And
I don't think there's a lot of twisting and a lot of 360s going on. So I think you can
assume that it's
kind
not gonna
of
happen,
assume
but-
that's not going to, yeah.
But also, it's been 62 games of no fights, so
they were
maybe they're
upset,
they're rusty.
They just wanted
forget.
to watch one.
Well, that too, yeah.
I really do not like that the actual referee sometimes doesn't step in and help out. With the linesman, in situations like that, you could clearly see that Frederick, I don't think actually wanted to fight. And the ref was just like you said, nope, go ahead.
Yeah.
Say, buddy, no, do to prevent and I'm glad they fought and it was good. Frederick did well, all things considered. But sometimes what are you waiting for here? You got a little notepad out? Oh, what number are they?
Yeah, kind of.
It's go get
Well,
the
there was the whole thing after the Kane penalty that was going on in the corner, and you watch everybody fighting at it, and both refs were just closer than you and I right now. It's you see that? That's pretty cool.
Look at that one.
Oh, look at that.
And they still get the fucking calls wrong.
yeah, and they still messed it up.
So shout out to Trent Frederick. We do appreciate some fisticuffs. And let me tell you, the barn was rocking.
She was.
You can't tell me people don't like to see a fight every time or every now and then.
Yeah.
62 games or so.
I can't believe that.
It's
I can't believe it too. At least
pretty
normally,
shocking.
Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, but at least you would have a handful in the first round.
Yeah, I give credit to Zach Lang. He went back and looked through our archives to see the numbers. And it's on average, it's 6 and 7 fights is a low year. And then it was 2017, 2018. I think we had 13 fights. And that was the first full season for me. And so I thought, fuck, we're living in the high life and we're coming back again. But oh boy, it has been down. Last year, we only had 4 fights. And 8 the year before.
And this year we had Battle of Ontario. How that didn't end.
I'm surprised there was no scraps.
The Habs and Capitals. The Habs and Capitals was probably the spiciest with the fight of Wilson and Anderson on the bench, which
that
was not
wasn't dubbed
officially
a
a fight.
hey?
Or Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Which Like probably rightfully so. Like Anderson wasn't even in the field of play at that point.
I could see one in Toronto, Florida on Wednesday.
It's been building up. The series has been building up, but the question I have and the issue I think that most teams have is that there's just guys that are not willing to do it. And
there's just too much to risk.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like guys don't want to punch someone in the visor and break their finger.
Yeah. But look who our bottom line guys are nowadays. You got like Kapanen and not the fighters anymore. Now our fighters are, you know, the Kachucks and the Kanes and the whatnots, and they got jobs.
Well, and I think that you said the name there. I think that's like been really just kind of sticking with me ever since the Four Nations is what you saw with Matthew Tkachuk and how I don't know if it necessarily happened in that fight, but like that emotion, that excitement that he got hurt. Yeah. And I thought coming out of that Four Nations, we were going to just see an explosion of fights, and it did not happen flat out. And now you're seeing the playoffs as a weird situation.
12 seconds of that Canada-US game was so fucking fun.
It was amazing.
That was incredible.
Like being at Greta that night, it was just, the first one was like, whoa, this is awesome. The second one, like, oh shit. And then the third one, come on. I don't think anyone knew what to do. Like it was so crazy.
So good.
And I don't want to be an alarmist, but at the same time, I think that might be the last time you see a line brawl for a long, long time in this NHL.
We almost saw one yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
think if that was,
if it was like a 4-1 game, it's probably a lot worse.
I think if it was Kane and Kolesar, I think there would have been a fight. But Nurse Kolesar, obviously the minutes difference, I don't think there obviously wasn't. And Frederick and Haig were the same, right?
I also don't know how many people want to fight Evander Kane.
And I think that's a good point too. And I think that we've seen it now more and more where like Tom Wilson, I have video of Tom Wilson challenging players on the Carolina Hurricanes bench to fights.
I want to know where Stu was last night.
Yeah.
Schmitty would have been at center ice with his chin on the top of his stick, just waiting.
I think if Pickard was healthy, I think you may have seen Skinner.
Yeah, I had a buddy go like, Skinner, go. I'm like, no, we need him in net. With Rodriguez right where the hell he is. Just sit there and fiddle with your
get out there. Jump the boards.
Colin D'Elia, you're on the bench, buddy. Welcome back.
He's been here?
Anyway. I just went to the NHL.
First fight of the playoffs. Of course, it happened in this one. It was a spicy game. Had to happen. The other thing I want to mention before we move on to some betting talk here is Dan found the Oilers Nation Oil Up tees are kind of cruising around socials right now.
Yeah.
We're making moves, Tyler, in unexpected areas.
So Alabama. Discovering this happens every single NHL season. It seems a new region or new area will kind of buy into hockey and get excited about playoff hockey. And Oilers fans and Oilers Nation, we have shown up on a new social media account that I follow called Average Joe Sports Network, based out of Alabama. And they have a couple of funny videos where they just took our ad about where we had announced that we were just releasing youth sizes of our Oil Up tee. And that kind of confused them and got them shocked. So the gentleman at the Average Joe Sports Network, Cameron Johnson, he called me out and he asked me personally to prove that this is a thing that we do. So I'm, of course, proudly representing my Oil Up shirt. Rick, you're also wearing one as well. And we're going to be sending you one of our shirts there, Average Joe Sports Network.
Thought we made this up?
Well, they didn't think it was real. They thought it was
like a Diddy joke.
They thought it was Diddy jokes and trying to, exactly, have some fun with that. This has been our slogan now 2 seasons,
3 years,
3 years going on. And so we're having fun with it. Average Joe Sports Network. You're going to get one of our shirts to represent that proudly down in Alabama.
What was this on Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram. Having some fun on social media there. So
we've been oily since 2007, Alabama.
Welcome to the club. You guys get to get oiled up there down in Alabama.
Average Joe Sports Network.
Yep. On Instagram. I don't know if they're on all the other social
They're on
X.
I just looked.
There you go. On X as well. Yeah.
We're going to give Liam 10
minutes.
Look,
there's Danalytic.
Responding to the comment saying I worked at the company.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. We're out there. We're in Alabama.
He has like 600 followers.
Trailer Park Sports Network is the first account that I followed, and then the algorithm brought me to Average Joe Sports Network.
Trailer Park guy he's come on this year.
He just came on. All the
Hang on
NHL
a minute.
teams.
What's Trailer Park Sports Network? Now I'm interested because I've got ideas.
Trailer Park Sports
it's just
Network.
some dude on his account.
Yeah.
I mean, I just watch the clips. I don't dip any further than that.
I'm picturing like umbrella joust. You know what I mean? Like you take the umbrella from your patio set and you get on some kind of bicycle and you're jousting.
Well, it's like that dude from St. Louis that jumped on a couple years ago.
Soul City.
Tony X.
Tony X. There you go. Yeah. Same kind of idea. Actually, I just Hockey Fights followed Trailer Park Sports Network right before because he was all over the Special Olympics and had some great coverage there. But then, he kind of got on board with the hockey fandom, and now NHL teams just send him gear all the time. So awesome to see for that. We're loving. I'm enjoying the content from down there. So
Great
had a lot of fun with it. Yep, exactly.
For the sport.
Oilers Nation, huge in Alabama. I miss Tyler. Don't you miss the chartable emails we used to get once upon a time?
Yeah, when it'd be like, oh man, we did really good in like India this month.
I do remember we were like the
second largest hockey podcast in India.
Well, shoot, what was one?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We should have got like an award or something like that. I think.
Plaque on the wall.
Do you know that there are 1 billion people that live in India?
Yeah.
Think of how many people were listening to us.
Incredible.
The one
Several?
guy visiting from
U.S. and Alabama.
Yeah, he was just on vacation. Boy, this Taj Mahal's nice. Now for some Oilers talk.
Chartable's done now, right?
Yeah, they closed
Yeah.
the website.
Yeah.
Farewell, Chartable.
Fare thee well.
Should we start? That was close. Whew.
Not. Were we going to look at something else on that company
No,
laptop we were supposed
I
to?
almost turned off my timer.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Oh,
We're
goodness.
40 minutes in, guys.
Well, gentlemen, time to talk a little betting. Our friends at Bet365. I want to know how everybody did last night, if you did anything at all. Want to get in on the action for the Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365? They got you from game props, player props, totals, and money line. You can even bet on futures like the series winner, conference champions, and Stanley Cup champions, and much, much more. Whatever your bet, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 years old or older. And please bet responsibly. Just a review last night. How did everybody do? I did poorly. However, what saved me was the puck line.
Took the puck line. Good for you.
I went pretty heavy on the puck line, feeling bullish.
I like it.
That was the only thing that hit. So I almost evened out.
I was strictly money line. That's it. That's all I
The odds
want.
on money line.
Minus 120.
Yeah. I just want a W.
Yeah. I got greedy.
That's fair.
well, the Oilers lost for the first time in 6 games, so I was allowed to throw a little bet again on it. I was about to, and you're going to just have to take my word at it. I was about to put a little bet on Henrique to be the first goal scorer, and then I changed it to Kulak anytime. So that one didn't hit. And then my big lottery parlay that I put together for every game when I'm allowed to bet and haven't forgot to bet at the start of a win streak. I missed my parlay by a Draisaitl 2 points. I had Wallman, Draisaitl, and Hyman shots, and then also Hill over 25 and a half saves.
I was annoyed because I had Trent Frederick anytime goal on Saturday. And I was like, nah, not going to go back to the well again. Should have. I have yet to hit a first goal scorer.
What you need to do tomorrow is pay attention to one specific thing.
Go ahead.
The vehicle in which Kane pulls up in.
Is he in the rolls?
If he's in a Rolls, I'm going at least 4 shots. I'm thinking of Gino.
Did you see the
Gino.
post game with Kane and Jim Matheson?
Oh,
no.
If you haven't, go watch it.
Yeah,
But did you see it?
Yeah, no,
it was so funny. He's like, "What did you roll up in?"
Rolls
He's
Royce.
like, "Rolls Royce." He's like, American muscle.
A little more muscle for this time.
And Kane's like, "Yep." Oh, Jim. And then Jim asked Skinner a question, but Jim stood behind him in the scrum.
Yeah, so he's like
Right behind
the flag
him.
behind you right now.
Skinner had to turn all the way around away from the camera. And Jim just stood there with his tongue out. Did you notice that?
I missed
so
that.
funny.
Also, I'm going back to the Rolls. Is it not a British company?
It's also an SUV.
Notably a British company.
American muscle.
Yeah.
Like one of their biggest.
I also liked
proud-
Stuart Skinner called Ryan Richard last night, which I liked.
He did
In
have
what
it.
context?
It was Rashad asked him a question about the noise, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then that same question kind of got asked again, and he just said, I said to Ryan, what do we call him?
Richard.
Richard.
I said to Ryan Bouchard.
Just referred to him as Richard.
It's a good way to make people believe your comment that you're not paying attention to the outside noise if you don't know the biggest reporter who covers the team.
I also like that I was watching SportsCenter when I got home last night, and Jay Onright kept calling him Ryan Richard.
He looked like it bugged him a bit.
He was so good.
Like it looked like it bugged him a bit. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Probably did.
Isn't that award for most goal scorers named after him too? The Ryan Richard
Ryan
Award?
Richard Award. Leon won it this year. That's pretty cool. All right, let's look at some of the futures as they've changed on Bet365. Stanley Cup champions, Edmonton Oilers are favored to win at plus 275.
That's what it was last on Friday too.
Hasn't moved yet. Yeah. Hurricanes are next up at 320. Stars at 330, which is interesting to me because the Stars are very, very good.
And just got Heiskanen back today.
Even, yeah, that line's going to move. Panthers are 425, Leafs 675, Jets 1800, Golden Knights 2800, and the Caps are the final entry at plus 7500. What's on your laptop over there?
Juicy question.
I'll send you an email.
All right. Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Currently the leader for that is Connor McDavid plus 450. Rantanen up next at plus 500. I was surprised by that one, frankly. Freddie Anderson plus 700. Draisaitl's 1100. Barkov 1600. Aho 1800. And the most goals in the series, Oilers versus Golden Knights. This one's fun to me. You know who's leading that? Who's the favorite to get the most goals in this series?
Oh,
Corey Perry.
I want to
Henrique Perry.
It is Corey Perry plus 140 to score the most goals. Next up, Leon Draisaitl plus 275, and then falls all the way to plus 750 for Mark Stone.
What do they have each right now?
Hey, what's Connor at?
Connor he's not even in the top 8.
He only has one goal.
Game 3 Hattie. Or Game 5 Hattie. Game 5 Hattie?
Game 3 Hattie.
Game 3 Hattie. Retroactive
Hattie.
In the game they lost.
Yeah, we're going to add those goals in. All of a sudden, it's a sweep. Anything else sticking out to you on the betting front? Anything you're looking ahead at?
Jimmy.
Why does everybody else get the 2-day break and we don't?
Do you want it? That seems boring. I hate having the extra off day.
I agree with
I'm about that action.
And also too, Vegas have a lot of plays banged up.
Well, put like an extra 15 years on your life and then we'll see what you say.
Pedal to the floor. Pedal to the floor.
Yeah, all
More
gas,
hockey.
no brakes.
I want back-to-backs.
Yeah, I want less breaks in between because then we can have a longer break.
I do want that extra break. And I'm trying really hard not to fall into the Ekholm talk.
Matthias Ekholm, Kris Knoblauch said could be back next series. In case you
Don't need him right now.
Who are you taking out?
Fascinating question.
Klingberg.
Can I pose a question? So then we can all assume that if Ekholm was to come back, he wouldn't be 100%. We don't even know what percentage he would really be.
Depending on when he comes back and the situation of the team, right? Because if you're up like 3-0, there's no point in putting him in the lineup.
Agreed.
If he's not. If you're down 0-3, sure, or maybe 3-1, I guess, is when you're a little more desperate than 0-3 kind of.
Yeah. But if you're down 3-1 even too in this hypothetical world.
Yeah.
You got my email.
I like that you emailed this.
We have a group chat. But
Yeah, we have a group chat.
On my laptop.
share it with us.
If you're down in this, there's a bunch of plays, but I just wonder at what point he becomes like good enough to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think like, I don't even want to say it, but perhaps if someone else who plays the same position, shoots the same way, ends up in the same position he's in right now, someone gets hurt.
Oh, yes. I was like, who are you referring
I know I
to?
use position the same word, but 2 different ways. I apologize.
Do we think that Kane rushed back at all
No.
No.
in the LA series?
No.
No.
No, I think Kane probably could have played like mid-March and they just kept
He
playing.
would tell you he could.
You're watching him play right now, even from game 1.
He looks the best he has in years.
Yeah. So he was
He's
ready
finally
to roll.
healthy for the first, because I was thinking about it. Like last year he had, obviously Pat Maroon stepped on his arm. That was a whole thing. Then he had broken ribs when he came back. And then he had double hernia surgery or something like that. Like he just had like a wild list of shit going on.
Yeah.
It's like a full year off is smart.
Yeah. I do like.
I think we just kind of assume like the worst because if you look at Kucherov when he came back, he was good right away. Stone's been good right away. When teams play this LTIR move into the playoffs, the player usually comes out like A-okay, and you're like, well, man, you just had that much time off. You don't even notice that.
I guess my thing with Ekholm is that like
I think he's out for the year.
And to Liam's point, like I think if you put him in, he's not going to be at top game speed right away. And how fast do you think he's going to turn it around?
Yeah, it's a great question.
He's smart enough though. He doesn't need to be at top speed. And then with a guy like with the way you have Nurse and Wallman playing, I think you could have them eat some of the minutes too. So you can like ease him in a little bit.
What are you guys laughing
If he's your third line defense, if he's your third line lefty,
I just group chat.
you're laughing.
But I guess I guess that's just the thing is it's like, is he more...
I think he'd be ready for third line minutes
Replaceable.
and maybe not first line, but you play third line and you have Wallman and Nurse up top. That's a hell of a top three.
Because you're taking out Klingberg in that situation, right?
I think you're taking out Stecher, but I mean, it's probably, I think the team likes Stecher more. I think the team likes Klingberg. I don't think you guys are going to like this, but I do think the team's going to sign Klingberg.
Yeah, him or
do.
Bouch.
Yep. I think that too.
Well, the other angle is the NHL announced their new offer sheet rules.
Yeah. Oh, are those new? I
Yeah.
thought he was just pointing out that being like, hey, this is what it is.
No, they're new. Updated.
Yeah, I'm going to put it at a 0% chance Stan Bowman allows this to happen.
Or there's
Yes,
the
these
other
guys
angle.
get
Like
signed well before that goes.
I was talking about it with Coombsy too. Like there's also, because if whatever somebody would offer Evan Bouchard, that's 4 first-round picks.
Yeah.
But you don't know where's it coming from? Where are those picks? Like if it's Anaheim, cool. The first couple are going to be good. What happens if you take off? What happens if it's a team, they say, I don't even know if they have it, but they say it's Vegas and all of a sudden you're looking at team, your 4 picks are going to be like 25 to 30.
They probably couldn't do it anyway because
Yeah,
don't have
what I'm saying, like a team that has a lot of picks who's still playing right now. I'm not really interested in 4 number 26s.
I'm not interested in losing Evan Bouchard.
No, I'm saying that
So
too.
like
But
the other part of my argument was going to be like, if the offer sheet comes, it's a 4 first-round pick offer.
Yeah.
The other angle is that it's a Sebastian Aho situation where they offer him something. Oilers immediately match and go, thanks for taking care of the negotiation with it for us.
Yeah.
but I think
good angle too.
Well, it depends what the number is. What's the number? What's $1 less than 4 first rounds?
11.6 million. But
And I think you want to get him less than that even. So therefore you got to get it done before that.
But so even if someone were to do that, it's the compensation for the offer sheet calculation is based on either the term of the deal or 5 years, whichever number is lower. So if someone were to offer sheet Evan Bouchard, call it $8 by $10 million or $11.6 million, you actually don't divide the total dollars by 8 in that scenario. You'd have to take that total dollars and divide it by 5. So the
Well, he only used 7 though, but
whatever. 7.
Yeah.
The compensation gets skewed because of that rule where it's divided by 5 years if the term is greater than 5 years, if that makes any sense.
So another question to this. If hypothetically someone offers him 11.7,
Yeah.
they would have to have their next 4 first round picks.
Their
intact
own.
already.
Their
right?
own.
Their own. Yeah.
Okay. So I just went through and
St. Louis got theirs back last year in order to do what they did to us.
Gotcha. So
Yeah,
there's
because
probably-
it has to be your
few
pick. It
teams.
can't be somebody else.
Correct.
Okay. So there's probably very few teams actually could.
But there's also some interesting guys out there, like looking at watching the Toronto series. Like, how could somebody not think about Matthew Nyes as like, hey, if you're going to offer sheet somebody on Toronto, like,
Yeah.
And attacking a team like Toronto is almost the same as attacking a team like us.
Yeah. I would love if someone offer sheeted Evan Bouchard to a 7 by $9.5 million, and the Oilers, like you said with Aho, just go, thank you very much, done.
Perfect.
The other thing with Bouchard, and part of the reason why maybe an offer sheet isn't the most likely thing, one, that 5-year rule hurts his ability to get a max term deal. Like if someone were to go and be like, Evan, we're offer sheeting you 5 years by $11 million, it's 55 mil. The Oilers would just go to him and say, take an 8 by 10 with us. We can offer you 3 extra years, get yourself $80 million guaranteed versus $55 million or whatever it'd be. And the other thing too is Bouchard's biggest weapon, I think, is actually his arbitration case. His arbitration case is going to be so good. Like he can sit there and him and his agent can point to playoff numbers and regular season production and sit there and go, we deserve Cale Makar money.
I'll give you Kale Kamar. Kale,
I know, and I would too,
right now.
But like, you get what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah, because inflated because of blah, blah, blah.
And then again, if he goes to ARB and wins his ARB, then next year his qualifying offer is like X amount more than his last salary, and he's set up even better. Like his ARB case is really, really good. And it's probably a bigger threat than his.
And if you offer him, if you qualify him, does that take him out of the running for an offer sheet?
No. Qualifying just means you're going to keep his RFA rights. If you don't qualify him, then he becomes a UFA.
I've decided there's one team I'm worried about with the offer sheet.
Go ahead.
Carolina Hurricanes. Remember the deadline?
Nobody wants to sign there, though.
Yeah.
But the rumor was that if we were going to get Rantanen, then Bouchard was the player that they wanted. And they have all their picks intact besides a second round pick this upcoming draft. But besides that, they've got everything else.
Do they have
So
the
then
cap
they wouldn't
space
be
though?
able to do that one. And yeah, their cap projection, they have $29 million in cap space.
Yeah, they have tons. And they have basically all their key players signed
Except
besides
Orlov.
who has one more year left.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Actually, no, he's a UFA. Sorry. What was it?
Is he even a key player anymore?
He's a top 4 defenseman, Sim, but also too, if you got Bouchard, you wouldn't need it all.
Yeah, you wouldn't need Orlov. So yeah, I can see the Carolina Hurricanes doing something like that. And again, but like, if you're the Canes, why like 4 first round picks even like is so much? Like for the Oilers, I wouldn't, because like you want Evan Bouchard, you're trying to win a cup, but for another team to sit there and be like, you could go get 2 really good players just by trading 4 first round picks.
Yeah. I would also too, if this was to happen, which I don't think it will, I would just turn around to like the Islanders and be like, hey, do you want 4 first round picks for Dobson?
Oh, yeah, and then you just
Like
take
just
no one
go
else.
and replace him with the same guy, essentially.
I just think the Stan Bowman's just, I don't even think it's going to get Tarb.
No, I don't think so
I
either.
don't think so. I don't think he can allow that to happen.
No, not after
not after what happened
last
last
year.
year.
Yeah, you lose your 3 best young players within a year of you becoming.
So what we need is Connor McDavid, July 1st, max extension,
Yeah.
and then Bouchard right after, shortly after. They're going to start negotiating when Connor is able at like 12:01 a.m. on the 1st or whenever that rule is.
Could you imagine if Connor took a Sydney salary?
What I'm curious about is if
Connor's just like,
9.7.
I'm going to jump on the 9.7 thing.
We saved money?
I'm curious about the deferred
The
money
world
side
would
of it.
hate us.
Like it's never really been done to an extreme extent in hockey.
No.
The Canes tinkered with it a little bit last year, signing, I believe, Seth Jarvis.
Wasn't that his own request? Wasn't it like, I'll take money later. Trust me with money now.
But like, what if Connor McDavid were to be like, I really, really want to win a bunch of Stanley Cups. I don't really give a shit about the money as long as I get it someday and my estate gets it or whatever, right? Because like, it's not like he's
It's a state.
Well, like it's not like a couple $1 million or his company, however
He's
you'd
got
say
that
it.
Scotiabank money.
Yeah, like he doesn't need his money is my point. It's like generational wealth at this point for McDavid.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe he sits there and is like, yeah, let's do it. $10 million AAV. Daryl, give me the rest in a few years.
His agent is just like,
If you're doing
are
10, you got to go to
high?
9.7.
Something break.
Nope.
Okay.
We're good.
True. That was the everything's good chime.
Yep. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, anything else?
Yep. One more thing
Okay.
for our friends at Greta. Join us for viewing parties. Keys to close is what I'm going to call this. Game 5 coming up tomorrow. T-Mobile Arena. Oilers with a chance to move to the Western Conference Final for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. Keys to close, Liam.
Be sensible. I think what they were last night was just really reliable with the puck. Obviously, the chances came, and I think they capitalized on them pretty well. Aiden Hill, probably Vegas' best player last night, I would say. He made some couple of good saves, I would think, and no one else showed up. You know they're going to come back hard because they have to.
Yep.
But I really do think you can silence that crowd pretty quickly in Vegas.
Well, half of them are going to be fans from out of town anyway.
Yeah, so, yeah, just be sensible.
Rick, what do you got? Keys to close.
Just keep doing what you're doing last night. It all be proved it works. You're going to have a very aggressive Vegas team. If you can move the puck quickly, crisply, and effectively, you're going to have a lot of odd man rushes go the other way. We've already seen that Aiden Hill, even if he is their best player, isn't keeping the puck out of the net.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get opportunities and they're going to come.
Dan, what do you got? Keys to close.
Yeah, I think that I agree with Liam that Adin Hill was their best player. And so you need to continue to just stay in his kitchen, keep buzzing the control tower, keep upsetting his world, and they'll be just fine.
Tyler, what do you got?
I really want their special teams to come through for them. Penalty kills starting to look a lot better.
Yep.
Haven't seen it succeed yet on the road. Power play has been junk on the road, but that's a bit more. I was reading some of the Bruce Kurlock and people like that were throwing some stuff out there that like it's maybe more of a product of just some bad luck right now than the process.
Changing it up. Just go back to the Leon on the little shooter there.
Yeah.
Especially when you're up by like 2.
Anyways, yeah, I just want to see the special teams come through. Let's have like a nice little 2-for-3 power play night with a 3-for-3 PK, and you're going to win the series.
Oh boy.
I'm going to go keep your foot on the pedal to the floor. Last night, the Oilers outskated them. They out-hit them. They outshot them. It was start to finish, pedal to the floor domination. And if they do that again, I don't see any scenario where Vegas can handle it. And another angle too, keep being physical. Keep being physical. The Oilers, last night I got home from the game and I'm doing my thing. And then I decided to pop over into the Golden Knights subreddit. Do you know that the Oilers are being viewed as bullies by Golden Knights fans?
I love that.
Bullies.
The Edmonton Oilers.
That's right.
That's nice.
Are the Golden Knights?
How so? Like how?
We're bullying them.
Oh, like in a positive way.
Nope,
Well,
definitely.
not
They're
from
upset
their
about
side.
their players getting bullied by our players.
We're bullying Adin Hill. We're bullying their players. They're taking runs at guys.
Nick Hague jumped Trent Frederick.
So I love, because I don't remember a time when the Edmonton Oilers were bullies.
Me neither, if ever.
So I like this.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. Keep being bullies.
It upset all 47 people at their outdoor watch party.
That was funny.
Oh man, some of those watch parties in the States are just, well,
I didn't know they're still doing social distancing.
very, very distant.
Yeah.
Miles between even.
It's that measles that travels.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's that casino right behind the arena?
Park MGM?
Park MGM's right there. You go hit the tables.
I suggest a certain $10 table at Circa Hotel.
Yes.
Craps table.
The table. It was hot. Any other keys to close before we wrap up the podcast?
Stuart Skinner.
Yeah, Stu.
Yep. I'd love also, because I'm being selfish, I'd love a classic Connor game.
Yeah, me too.
Like a 4 or 5 pointer.
Especially because I keep losing on my freaking same game parlays because I put Connor 2+ points on all of them. Whoops.
Yeah, last night I went pretty heavy on Connor 2, Leon 2 money line. Whoopsies.
I think like that's what everyone should be worried about is those two have not even like they've been Connor's still second in points right now in the playoffs, one back of Rantanen, who's been absolutely on fire, but they've been quietish, at least from our perspective, because what we're used to.
2 years ago, it was either Connor and Leon score all the goals or the power play does, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that's still in their game.
And now we've had the Henrique game. We've had the Connor Brown game.
Pickard stole one.
Evander Kane's been great.
Yeah.
Depth coming through.
Oh boy.
All right. Game 5, score prediction. Tyler, you're up.
4-3.
Dan.
Vegas 5-4 win.
Rick.
5-2 Edmonton.
Liam.
4-2 Edmonton.
6-3 game, 2 empty netters. Moving on to the Western Conference Final. We will talk to you on Friday.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.